Hello, Lynn. So,
Hey.
how are you?
Hello. Hi, Matt. Thanks for having me today.
No worries. Absolute pleasure. And I'll have to say a big thank you for coming to the Hills about a month ago,
Yeah.
where you were able to come and share your journey through breast cancer, but also your wonderful book as well.
Thank
so let's start off by hearing a little bit about your journey and how you've ended up here today.
Oh, gosh. Well, it's a bit of a long one, Matt. Unfortunately, it did start off with breast cancer in my family in 2014. My sister got breast cancer, and whilst it was really, really tough, I played the role of carer, basically. I was living in Australia. She's in the UK, where I'm from, and I've lived in Australia since 1997, but always frequently visited. She got breast cancer, and of course, I got on an aeroplane to go and help with her. She was pregnant at the time, unfortunately, and the baby is great, nearly 7, a beautiful girl. But I did the big sister thing, and I just went and looked after her. But one thing I didn't do, Matt, is that I actually didn't pay attention to what was going on around medically. I was totally zoned in on how she was emotionally. So when it actually came back again in my sister, well, for one, my world fell apart because she's my only sister. I've got 4 goofy brothers, but my only sister, and it was just devastating. And it was, I'm a teacher, and it was in my summer holidays, and she gave me the quick phone call and said, go and check yourself. And I actually said, I do, because of when you had it 4 years ago. In fact, I'm the bit of an over-checker. And 8 months ago, I was told I was fine. And she said, please, hers had come back at a later stage. It came back in her clavicle, supraclavicular, in her neck here, and it's left her on lifelong chemotherapy. So of course I did the right thing by myself and went to get a check, and she pushed and I listened, and I'm very glad, because hiding inside my right breast was a 4-centimeter tumor, and it was absolutely devastating to find out that I was absolutely convinced that the statistics are bad, really, of the chance, 1 in 8 back then. It's now 1 in 7. But I never, ever, ever thought it would get me. So the reason why I'm sat here chatting with you, I suppose, is because what I did was I used I kept a diary, sort of, but I recorded and mentally recorded lots of thoughts and ideas when I was going through my treatment. And I was constantly scratching around looking for guidance, because as a teacher, I planned for a living, and I didn't know what was going to be my next step. I didn't know what chemotherapy looked like. I didn't know what radiation therapy looked like. And I really wanted, let's just say, a dummy's guide to help me along the way. And I couldn't find it, Matt. So I found one, but it was in America, and I really wanted an Australian medical system side of things. So I wrote it. I wrote my book, and yes, I launched it during COVID from my lounge room. I called it, get ready, Lindsay's Live Lounge Book Launch of the little things. So I did. And look, my book is not, it didn't come out of a place of being an egomaniac or a narcissist or woe is me, look at my story. I genuinely wrote it with a view to, I was that girl. I was that girl walking around the bookshops going, I need something like a dummy's guide to breast cancer. And, I hope that it epitomizes that, because inside its words, people are finding warmth. And I tried to do it a little bit different as well. I embedded QR codes in it so that you can actually see part of my journey live in front of you through YouTube, and my sister's journey as well. So that's how it all panned out. The good news is my sister is well. And also, I didn't tell you that my brother, as you have read, he also got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when he was 19. So there's been 3 out of the 6 of us that have had a cancer battle. And I just thought, we didn't die. So there's a story there. Yeah.
No, what a brilliant, tough story. Like you guys have been on a journey, and still on the journey as well. With your book, I read the whole thing and just loved it, about your story and your journey. And one of the things I picked up on with cancer, we always concentrate on the person. but you
Yeah.
very clearly say, we got cancer. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So I got the tumor, but we got cancer. My husband, my beautiful children, who were 8 and 10 at the time, my best friend, my close friends, my extended family, and they're worldwide, America, Ireland, England. I was the rock in the pool of the ripple effect. And it was amazing to watch how people embraced my journey, my cancer battle. And it was also interesting to watch how it absolutely drives fear into people. And somebody once said to me, when you get a cancer diagnosis, you really see who your friends and family are. And it's so true. People that you're super close to might not necessarily look out for you because they can't cope with it. It's their struggle as well. So when I say we got cancer, that's what I mean. It just knocked us all around in all different ways. But we're very lucky here in Australia that there are people and events that look after our loved ones, mainly immediate family, not really friends. That has to come from within, and a lot of talking.
Yeah, and I suppose that's a big lesson that I learned as well, is when someone is going through cancer, also look at the family around them and give them the support, because they're going through the battle just like the person with the cancer as well.
Yeah.
And another thing I picked up on was breast cancer. I always think that you just feel a lump.
Yeah.
But as I
Gosh.
started reading, there's a lot of other signs to show that there may be cancer there.
Absolutely. So you're not alone. I had my nana on my mum's side die of secondary breast cancer, but she died from brain cancer, because cancer, even though it's in the breast, it can pop up, as you know, as a medical professional, it can pop up in other places, and the brain, unfortunately, is one of them. My nana on my dad's side, she died of breast cancer, and my sister has had it, and obviously myself. So I thought too, it's a lump. You either live or you die. And then if you get it twice, you definitely die. And it's an old lady's disease. That was my narrative. And now I know what I know. It's certainly not my narrative now, which is why I go around talking to the community, because things like your nipples changing shape, inverting, changing color, discharge from the nipple, the dimpling effect. As in Jane McGrath's situation, she was brushing her hair, and when she lifted her arms, the breast lifted and it was flat on one side. Skin erosion, red marks. There are so many symptoms, and there are really good things out there that can help you, along the way, work out what they are, but not very many. In my opinion, not enough. Yeah.
So the key thing there is to continually check. And I suppose you've now started off the Check Yourself Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And it's not just the checking, but as you said, coming familiar with the shape and the look. So when things do change, or if they change, you're able to pick up on those subtle shifts or those changes there as well.
Absolutely. Haters don't hate, but I always tell people to invest in a full-length mirror, because I think, or at least a large one, I think it's really important it is two parts. It's the look at the breast and it's the feel of the breast. And looking at the breast, obviously you're looking for shape and size and coloration and skin differences. And the feel, obviously you're looking for lumps inside the breast tissue. So certainly twofold. And something, unfortunately, even though it was in my family, I did not know until it happened to me.
Well, I'm hoping this will educate people more about the journey and about how to check yourself as well.
Yeah.
Now, how have you found that your values have changed since before and after the diagnosis?
Oh, well, one of my favorite parts when I do my Check Yourself Tuesday talks and I present to people, one of my favorite parts is where I do share with them how gratitude was just a word that was in my vocabulary a little bit. And now it's something that's in my daily vocabulary, even to the point where I do my secret whispers to myself in the morning when I wake, and I have to stretch out my calves because I have calf muscle issues. And I'm always thankful that I'm awake. I woke up today and it's great. And I quite often give examples of, what little thrills, my son or my daughter have given to me recently. And also when I am expressing that gratitude, it's genuine and life's better now. And I do have gratitude for breast cancer. Yes, it's an insidious disease and it's awful. And the ramifications are long-term, unfortunately, but it's also, we live in a country where it's survivable. And I was one of those. I survived. And so I call it, I thrived. And so I see life in high definition now. I see it so positively and things don't bother me like they used to. Road raging, I just drive around it. And in the past, with a bit of red hair and a bit of sass, I would perhaps have not done that. And now I do. I'm really, really chill. And I've got a big thing about paying that forward. And I would like to do that in my talks. In fact, Matt, I just want to read you a really quick something that recently I was at a hotel. Before I wrote the book, launched the book, I was in a hotel and the wallpaper on the wall read, hold on, guide dogs, another thing breast cancer did, took away a bit of my eyesight. I will always appreciate the small things. I will kick up my heels. I will have my cake and eat it. I will make a difference in someone's day. I will act like a kid occasionally. I will be empathetic. I will enjoy a belly laugh or two. I will celebrate life. I will keep learning. I will take the time to reflect, tackle life head on, explore more, and smile more. And I just think, you know what? Brilliant.
Very nice. And it was found on wallpaper in a hotel?
Wallpaper in a hotel. And I sat there with my grey lead. I've got a bit of an affiliation with writing with grey lead on paper, old school. And I just remember thinking, that's going to be it. I've been through the hard yards. I've been through the treatment. And yes, things are ongoing with me. And yes, there is a little devil on your shoulder sometimes, but I've been through those tough times. And now it's time to just embrace life because that's what I've been given back.
So now you see your role as helping others and running courses to educate people more on breast cancer and breast health.
Yes, so I'm really excited about this. I've probably done it, I think I've just done my 10th one, and I've started super locally and I'm looking to definitely expand. So I offer free presentations on breast health. And I've done recently a crocheting club. I've done real estate agents. I've been to your church. I've been in many staff rooms because, as I say, I'm a teacher and I need to start. We're a female-dominated industry. And, and I also present to men because they've got breast tissue as well as wives, girlfriends, sisters, etc. And I really do. I sort of feel like it's my pay it forward and I've got a really big sense of community and I always have had, but of course I bring along my book and people can enjoy the book's delights as well, which is really nice. But it's my presentations are certainly getting positive feedback, which makes me happy.
That is brilliant. And if people want to book a presentation from you, how would they get in contact?
Yeah, easily. They can either go through Instagram at Lindsay Kennedy Lives, Lindsay with an E, or they can email me on the title of my book, which is The Little Things, lk@gmail.com.
Excellent. And the book is absolutely amazing. So if you get a chance, get a copy of the book and have a read. Yes. And who knows, it might even save your life or it might save someone else too.
Absolutely. And look, originally when I wrote this book, I thought my niche market would potentially be women that have been diagnosed with cancer. And what I'm slowly learning through the presentations is that that's not true. It's actually a really good humanitarian story. There are quite a number of lessons in there. It can also act as a tool or a resource for people that are struggling. I recently had a representative of a local council member who I met at a soccer game through my son. She just sent me a photograph of her and she's in a chemotherapy bed and she's got the cold cap on trying to maintain the hair, which unfortunately through chemotherapy you lose sometimes. And there she was wrapped up in a crochet blanket, just holding up my book. And I just felt really thrilled that, like I said earlier, people are finding warmth in its words. And that was the purpose of doing it as well, you know, to feed that message forward. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. And one last question around the language is a lot of the times people are scared to use the words breast or all these other sort of body parts. Normalising the language, how important is that?
Well, it is important, Matt, because it's really the hardest part of my presentation. Breast cancer, primarily data-based, affects women between 50 and 74, which is why the government get you to go and do your screens and invite you by letter from the age 50. However, in my experience in the last 12 months, COVID and no COVID, well, COVID's not ever gone away at the minute, but you know what I mean, prior to COVID and COVID, women are being diagnosed younger. And whilst it is super survivable in Australia, if caught early, if we educate ourselves around those signs and symptoms, then women are getting it earlier and earlier. And like I said, it's gone down to 1 in 7. So it really, really is important that we do have that vital, healthy conversation. And it starts with everyone's responsible for looking out with each other. You know, you're a dad, you've got a daughter who's the same age as mine, and they've entered the pre-pubescent years, and it's never too early to start to teach them and make it second nature, because people are squeamish, and you can see the elder generation wiggling their seats when you say breasts or even vagina, when you're talking about, you know, ovarian cancer and the link to breast cancer. They're uncomfortable. But you know what? If you are uncomfortable talking within your community about it, bring it to your home, bring it to your dinner table, talk to your immediates about it, because that immediate circle, they're bound to tell other people in their other circle, and it can grow. The message can grow about self-checking and self-advocating, because at the end of the day, you're the experts on your own body. So get over that comfortability and get comfortable with saying boobs.
Or breasts.
Or breasts. Breast tissue. There's a few other names for them, but you know, we'll try and keep it profesh.
We will. Oh, well, we'll start to finish it up now. That was amazing, and your presentation was absolutely brilliant. And
Thank you.
Good luck for the future with spreading the message.
Yes.
And thank you again for sharing.
No worries. If anyone wants to purchase my book, I'll look at dropping the link in the chat, and they can either go through you as well. And then that would be great. Just on that, there is a donation, a percentage of the book sales are donated to Love Your Sister, who really advocate for individual treatment, personalised treatment for breast cancer patients of our future in Australia.
Oh,
Awesome.
Thank you for that, Lindsay.
No
Absolutely
worries.
amazing. Okay.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Bye.
Pleasure.